Yay.
Hello and welcome to WandaVision Rewind. I'm Candace from the Geeky Waffle, and with me is...
I'm Arzu from the Geeky Waffle.
I'm Maggie from Twitter.
Hello, this is Norhal from Twitter.
Hey, this is Alden from Octo Radio, Star Wars Podcast.
Hi, I'm Rachel Eastman from the Mary Sue and probably Twitter.
Okay, we're talking about episode 3 of WandaVision, Now in Color. What do you guys think of this episode? Feelings.
It was so intense.
Oh my goodness.
So intense.
So many
I
emotions.
dressed like Wanda's hair for this occasion.
I love it. Yes.
Because I love her and I love this episode.
I can't get over her cheekbones. Like they could cut me and I'd be happy with it.
I feel that way about Paul Bettany's 70s muscle shirt body there.
Right?
Yeah, his muscles.
Okay.
His muscles in that opening thing.
Yeah.
At 8:20 this morning, my roommate was like muscles, and I wasn't paying attention. And then we rewatched it, and I was like, "Oh, muscles!"
Right
Yeah.
there, upper
Muscles.
left.
Yeah.
There you go.
See that? So what did you guys think of the opening? This was also written by the Frozen team. The Lopez's.
I've had "Come On, Get Happy" in my head all day because of
Yes.
the opening. Just because the beginning
Yes.
kind of sounds like it, so that's been in my head all day.
Yeah.
I dug it.
Yeah,
I loved
Sleepy
it.
Jean took over for me. Like, I love it. I think it's a fun opening, but like, I've had Sleepy Jean stuck in my head all day long.
Oh.
Same. I love that song so much. And it felt so sinister in this episode.
So it's not just me because it was freaking me out by the end, and I'm like, but this feels like it's a happy song.
Yeah.
So why am I deeply uncomfortable?
And that's, I mean, the show is so good at that too. I mean,
Yeah.
every single actor in this entire show deserves an award for just like how much they've mastered like the pause, like every strategic pause when people are speaking, and a lot of the edits. Yeah. I mean, because you watch those happy openings and you're immediately like, not everything is what it seems. I'm creeped out.
It's so creepy. It's such a creepy show.
They,
I know.
in the lyrics, they all talk about, oh, they're just normal and they're happy, everything's fine, and you're like, you're a
Family.
liar.
Yeah, like typical.
1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah,
More
No,
than 2.
it was 1 + 1 is family.
exactly. Yeah, 1 + 1 is family. Oh, okay.
1 + 1 is. What was the thing that's more than 2? That was like super
Yeah, it was
obvious?
1 + 1 is more than 2, which I
Yeah.
thought was so weird considering they have twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have just done 2 + 2 is family, but I was like, it was weird how they did it, and I was just like,
So
1 + 1 is
insidious.
it's a couple. It's not a family. It's a couple. It's 2 people.
Okay, so yeah, the episode 2, all of a sudden, Color's back, and Wanda's magically, like, super pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just gets more pregnant in this episode. Did anyone, like, watch Bewitched growing
Yes.
up?
Yeah, yeah, a little
you
bit.
see episodes and the birth, it's all weird, and she...
The whole like accelerated pregnancy trope that is so popular in fan fiction, and it's so weird to actually like see it on like screen.
And Vision's reaction.
Yes, like what?
Honestly,
Well, I think that's a really interesting point though, Maggie, that you bring up, because if there is a grand sort of Wanda, even subconscious plot at play, if she is her own big bad, then the idea of her playing on not just television, but maybe, I don't know, she was a teenager in Sokovia once, like who know, like it could
Who
be any
knows what
number
she
of
was
things
reading?
that she thinks, you know, about stories.
Well, like,
Yeah.
our theory is that everyone had reruns. Like, I have family that live in India, and they got all the sitcoms, like, years later, like, decades later. So these things play constantly. So if she just, like, had, like, one TV in the house, that's probably what her family watched, is all these Nick at Night
Yeah.
kind of sitcoms.
Yeah.
and it's so safe. It's such like nothing bad is going to happen.
It's all solved
And-
in half an hour.
It's all happy.
It always happen.
Yeah, all happy. Typical common problems that is not gonna be.
She
Nothing
lives
bad.
in an action movie where, like, everyone she loves dies. So, of course, she wants to live in a sitcom where everything is solved after 24 minutes.
Tracy has a
And-
great question here.
Yes. I was like, what is she doing on a bicycle pregnant?
I know the tandem bicycle.
I know.
I stared at that. Was like, okay, is she pregnant on this bike? Like, I was like looking at the shirt like intently, trying to figure out.
I was
if
like,
she was pregnant
how?
with her.
And she was on the back, right? So she
Yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't
she
even
was
like
on the back
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
of the tandem.
Well, I feel like with Wanda, like everybody else questions the timeline. Even Vision's like, it's been 12 hours, but Wanda kind of brushes all that aside. So if she's coming up with the opening in her head, then it's been the 70s for several months.
Yeah.
I agree.
So that's when
Yes.
this opening was quote unquote filmed, was prior to the events of today.
Because she's not like bigly
no.
pregnant
No,
in
she's
that
not super
top
pregnant.
picture.
But
Because-
doesn't he make a comment about how she's only been pregnant for a day though?
Yeah, Vision does. But
Yeah, like
Wanda
12
brushes
hours.
any questions about how fast this is aside.
Yeah.
Because
And
she's
they
like,
buy
no,
a
no, no, no.
crib?
Let's not talk about that. Let's not pursue that line of questioning. It's fine. Because to Wanda, she's like, I've decided that this is going to be a very accelerated
She's
pregnancy.
like, don't talk about my plot holes.
Yeah. I mean,
There you go. There you go.
and the thing about it is that's interesting is that, you know, we're talking about when is the opening taking place. The opening is the 50s and 60s episodes that we just saw. You know, all that's changing for the characters are the visuals. I don't think that they perceive a time change. Like, from their perspective, the magic show just happened, the talent show rather,
Yep.
just happened, and they might be now remembering it with a 70s aesthetic. Events
that's so
are still
weird.
happening.
It's so trippy.
Everything event-wise is linear. So
Yeah.
it's like how
Right.
Vision references Mr. Hart. And he's like, oh, you know, with Mr. Hart at dinner. That dinner still happened.
Yesterday.
A few
Still
days
a
ago.
few
But he's
days
perceiving
ago.
it as the
And the
70s.
But now
talent
the
shows.
70s.
Yes.
Well, now I want those perspectives. Like, I want
Yeah.
later in the season because like I think with the timeline, like there's gonna be episodes where they're not sitcom based like they are now. Like
Right.
it's gonna be whatever. So I think it'd be fun if it was like a hodgepodge and we got to see that heart dinner, but like in like when the Modern Family era comes in, or
Yeah.
like as it's The Office or whatever it ends up being.
Yes.
That'd be super cool.
I can't wait for the Full House episode. Like that's
Oh,
the episode
yeah.
I've been like counting down for because
Yeah.
the irony of Elizabeth Olsen playing a
That-
Full
yeah,
House character
yeah,
is
that's-
not lost.
That story is so funny because like I in the press conference for this show, Kevin Feige was like, I didn't even realize Elizabeth Olsen had sitcom connections until I saw a picture of Full House, and everyone's like, did you just forget Full House was
Really?
the show?
Oh, I've watched Full House like no lie like 50 times full run. Like that was
And
the thing
Fuller
I
House
watched.
too, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, this episode
Wow.
is totally Brady Bunch all around. Like in the intro, that's the like very close to the Brady Bunch font. The whole apartment and
Is
house,
the
Is-
Brady
The
Bunch.
playground, the backyard
you
too.
have the playground and the AfroTurf.
And the
And
stairs.
Mhm.
also, the doll that Vision is practicing diapers on is Cindy Brady's favorite doll. Caddy,
Ooh.
Kitty, something.
I just
another?
noticed she even has the bows that Cindy has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
wow.
it's a kitty.
Awesome.
Isn't like a kitty cat?
Carry-all.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
it's
Well,
like
and
details like that.
Sleepy Jean isn't that the monkeys?
Yep.
hmm
And that's who she was in love with Davy Jones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all connected. It's
Monkeys.
like finally my Brady Bunch knowledge comes handy.
I'm just
Yeah.
sad that we didn't get the Partridge Family because I was a Partridge Family child, which broke my mother's heart because she was a Brady Bunch child.
Oh.
Oh, if they did like broke into a musical number, that would be amazing.
Well, when she started singing the little lullaby, I was like, "Are we going to get the Partridge Family now?" And then it didn't go anywhere, and I was like, "Dang it!"
Oh, okay. Something interesting is Vision says he wants to name the baby if it's a boy,
Yeah.
Billy, after William Shakespeare.
Oh
He
my
says,
God.
All the stage
Stage.
is a play. All the world.
All
is
the
a
All the
play.
world is a
Stage.
stage.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
women are players, early players. So
Like all the
Yeah.
theater kids were like, it's all the world is a stage.
Yeah.
But
as you like
literally,
it.
Is that what Wanda is doing? Is she
Yeah.
putting
Oh, yeah.
on a show?
I think that there's definitely a lot. I mean,
A lot of hints.
yeah, I've said this episode 1. My end game for this is Stephen Strange showing up and saying you need to stop, and then
Mhm.
that's how you tie it. Like
Yes.
we've been trying to reach you since the battle against Thanos, and
I
you've
want
been
Wanda
yeah.
to be a villain. And
Yeah,
Doctor-
yeah.
Doctor
That's
Family.
her villain
Or you-
story.
yeah,
Yes.
or something of like a rehab. But what's interesting is you bring up the kids. is she putting on this show? Yes, but is she also creating? There he is. There
He's
he
so
is, little
That's a
guy.
big baby, guys.
Little guy.
That's like
That is
a
a big
bigger.
baby.
Like a
Did you-
6 months baby. Come on.
Did you notice he was born with a blanket on?
Yeah.
With a blanket.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfectly
Like total
clean.
sitcom.
And this is
no
uh,
umbilical
like
cord, 6 months old with a blanket.
sitcom? Yes.
and this one is Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
Tommy and Billy are both young Avengers.
They're
Women
women in
and speed.
speed.
Speed. So is she also trying to create, like, out of her trauma, like trying to create more heroes since she lost Vision, and then
Well, so she manifests the twins in the comics.
yeah, and
like-
House of them.
With
Yeah,
Mephisto. Mephisto was like the father.
She uses the soul, part of his soul.
Yeah, part of
The
his
devil.
soul.
She grabs his soul by accident. She doesn't know she takes the devil's soul.
I love
I don't know
comics.
how that works. But then then the babies disappear. So there is
Yes.
a time where
Oh,
her
yeah.
kids, and she thinks they aren't
She
real
gets
at all.
yeah.
That's what triggers
So-
the meltdown of House of M.
I have a theory about the stork because the stork wouldn't magic away. Every time she tried to magic it away, it just had the red dust appear. And so I was wondering if the stork was like the embodiment of like Mephisto. I cannot pronounce that name. Please do not critique me.
Mephisto, yeah.
The devil. If that was like a manifestation of the
Like
devil.
Zeus and
Since
Leda,
That
yeah,
makes
since
sense because storks are
like the swan. Ah!
they are evil.
Mythology. Oh.
I don't like
Okay.
And
it.
since
that
he
goes-
brings the babies.
That goes back to all the hexagons. Hexagons are in bees. There's the beekeeper hexagon, also hex.
Mhm.
Hex also 6 sides. So 6 is no wait 1. 2,
Do-do-do-do.
Yeah,
No, that's yeah, that's 6. I can count.
I can
Hexagon
count
plus
too.
6.
I was like, wait, I'm on a
Same.
roll. Am I getting this wrong? 666 devil. There we go. It's all there.
That
I'm
adds
sorry,
up.
one of the comments says, "Nah, it's just a bitch ass bird," and I was
I don't know.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
No.
No.
That's why I thought it was the devil too, because I was like, yeah, they're evil. That checks out.
Well, the devil is a bitch ass in most iterations. So
Other than the show
It's
Lucifer,
true.
yes.
yeah,
And so are
Um,
most birds, so it checks out.
Yeah.
So I researched storks today, and there's actually
course
so
we do.
there's an old Polish tale that talks about how God created storks with white plumage, while the devil gave him black feathers on his wings. And so both God and the devil had a role in creating storks. And I just thought it was interesting that there is this like connection if they are playing with that, symbolism at all, because there was some
And
weird
so-
devil symbolism.
And Wanda's God. I'll take it.
and Wanda's
Well,
God.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take my baby.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of God and other things like that. Oh my God, where did the thing go? Oh, did I not upload it? 1 second. Let's talk about the commercial.
Oh God.
The
Yes.
commercial is once
Yeah.
again the same actors, and there's a theory that those actors are actually Wanda's parents.
Parents.
Oh,
Mhm. I like that theory.
Yeah,
I like it
I didn't
too.
think about that, but I like it.
me either.
I was listening to Phase Zero, which is the comic book podcast,
Mhm.
and they also like the running theory is that like those are her adoptive parents, and it's going to be revealed that Magneto is actually her father, since now they can bring in the X-Men.
Please.
And
Yes.
I would take that
I
because
said that just the other day to friend of ours, to Charlie Ashby, saying,
Mhm.
"Dude, what if this ends with just a man with white hair like knocking at the door, and
I would
and he's like,
absolutely
oh,
lose it.
the father-in-law." And the other thing is that, I mean, when she does the Sokovian lullaby, speaking of dads, I fully expected a phone call from like James Spader or something, and it being like, "Oh, dad's Vision, your dad's calling" or something.
no, he's
He
going to
wants
be
congratulate
next
you.
episode because it's the 80s. And James
Mhm.
Spader was like the villain of the 80s. Like
Yeah.
I like that's my whole thing. It's
Oh
like
my
it's gonna
God.
be the
There you
80s.
go.
with James
What if
Spader.
he's like the worst in-law ever? You know how there's always the sitcoms with the in-laws issues?
James Spader.
Yeah, the in-laws.
I'm
It's ultra-
still like really holding out hope that we see Pietro, and I think that it's possible with him being mentioned in this episode to like remind audiences of her twin brother.
They have a week to go rewatch
It
Ultron.
would be so perfect with Full House having like uncles show up to like help take
Yeah.
care of the
Oh,
babies.
yeah.
Oh, if he has a mullet like Uncle Jesse in the early
Listen.
seasons,
If they
That would be
sing
fantastic.
with
forever,
white.
With the silver hair. Ah, that would be
if
awesome.
they
Okay,
sing
and-
forever by the Beach Boys, I'm walking out.
Oh
The
my god!
crowd.
You know they're gonna need Beach Boys music next week. You know it's gonna happen.
Did you
Oh,
guys,
that's so
when
good.
you finished the episode, did Disney Plus suggest that you watch Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we
it's
quickly
fantastic.
said no, and we went back.
It's
I
to
don't
it.
like pain.
Let's go. Okay, back to this. So
Yes.
it says, "Find the goddess within."
Whoa.
And
Again,
Kevin
God.
Feige, Kevin
Goddess.
Feige has said that this is the series where Wanda becomes Scarlet Witch. So, I'd be very
Yay!
interested.
Our
And it
beautiful
also
Wow.
says in the commercial, "Escape to a world of your
Or-
own." What
When
does
your
that sound like?
problems float away.
Well,
Wow.
that's the sword element. I mean, yeah, these
And they have
commercials
the
are
sword. If you look, the sword logos aren't those?
on her pendant, and
There?
then
Mhm.
well, those
no,
yeah, the
but in
Hydra
that
logos.
picture, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and
in
all
the
this.
corner, isn't that it?
Hydra. That's
I'm
Hydra.
Those are
pointing at it,
Hydra.
like you can see.
Hydra.
Okay, I was like,
that's
those
Hydra.
are something up top.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is
And
it
I-
a Hydra remnant versus sword type thing happening, and
Maybe.
she's stuck in the middle?
I saw on
Okay.
Twitter that whole connection with like the
Agents
like
of
the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Tahiti thing in Agents of Shield.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
there's
I
that
kept
too.
expecting like Tahiti to come up, like that was going to be the name of the soap, and it
Mhm.
wasn't. But
Yeah, and it seems like
It's
all the
back
commercials
to-
are like parts of her trauma. So as
And he
we
talk
go
about
through,
time. All
What is
about
that?
time.
Well, yeah, because it's
Oh, yeah.
the watch,
Mhm.
The watch and
toaster.
the
Forget
toaster,
the
the
past.
toaster, and
yeah.
In one of the
The
comics,
toaster
Wanda
zoomed in
calls
on
Vision a toaster.
oh yes.
yeah,
He is a
but
toaster.
Silence. are also
He's a
called
very
Back
hot
to the
toaster.
Yes.
Yes.
Back to
Mad
the
about it.
commercial. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Coulson claims that Hydra has been brainwashing and controlling people using soap, and that creates also false memories. So
Yeah.
this is all false memories, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
See,
also I,
I
love
don't
that
know
that
if
was
they're
in.
supposed-
I know, like I don't know if they're false memories either, and I love that they're potentially tying in Agents of Shield.
They're
'Cause
really
that
gonna
yeah,
we go
kind
back
of-
and finish it, aren't they?
I mean, that brings the whole like multiverse together.
I know.
Well,
That would be
especially because
fantastic.
now they're bringing in apparently Charlie Cox filmed scenes for Spider-Man 3, so that means that all the Netflix stuff counts. So it's like
Well,
they're
so
trying to
did
be
all of
like,
us.
it all
Please,
counts.
please.
we all
There were
shot
actually-
scenes.
We
for
all
Spider-Man.
thought it. Yeah,
Me
I'm in
too.
the background in Queens.
Even Grogu.
Grogu.
That's canon.
Yeah, Grogu and Pedro Pascal are just like, hey guys, we're in Queens. What up?
Yeah, so there is
Yes.
yes.
Good question.
Yeah.
It needs to be in everything.
My
Gosh, I
a,
was gonna
a
say.
Pittsburgh legend herself. Magnolia.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, there's 3 Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. actors in this show so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
It's very
See?
suspicious.
very suspicious. It's very sus.
There was one thing with Vision, well actually 2 things with Vision, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I remember in the comics, Vision never had super speed, and he did super speed twice in the episode, and he also
Yes.
did not do math, and he's a computer, and so the fact that he like completely messed up the timing, which even my mom and I were like, there's no way those babies are coming 2 days from now. They're coming like in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was odd, and then like with the super speed, like her brother had super speed. I mean, he was Quicksilver. So I just thought it was like, is the thing starting to like merge together and like these different parts of her like fantasy? Because I cannot remember him having super speed like that, but I could be wrong.
Flies fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
doesn't
but
really-
he-
Eyes.
We
He
don't
doesn't
Remember,
run like that.
he ran really fast to grab the fruit, and that's why I was
Yeah.
like, wait a second.
and with the doctor running down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't generally, and I think that it might be sort of like a symptom of her. I mean, we saw obviously the big no moment in the previous episodes, and then this time there's that really great glitch edit.
So good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
Then a lot of us thought it was a TV. Like,
Exactly.
I thought I
It's
hit
so
something on my
smart.
remote.
It's so smart because this show is not just about the characters; it's about the medium of television, and it's like it is a That's why when I hear people like, "Oh, why isn't it?" I wanted more action. Like, I don't know what you thought you were getting,
Yeah.
because this
Yes.
is just a love letter to TV. It's Marvel saying we're doing TV now, and we love it. And the fact that they did that, I think to me shows that she can't. She thinks that she can write Vision and these neighbors and this town and all this stuff, but it's becoming too big of a project for her brain. And I think that that's why the neighbors are starting to slip at the same time that his powers are
Yeah.
wrong, at the same time that she's, she can't just say no this time. She just has to blip it out of being a problem.
Yeah, and you can see at the beginning when the doctor is leaving and Herb is trimming the hedges, and then he goes through the fence as well. So it's like she was controlling, or maybe she was distracted, and she
Yeah.
just went like, "Oh, yes,
I
yes,"
love
like
that. because
See,
it
I
was
don't
such
think
like
she
a
has that much control.
yeah. It's like it's really hard to tell yet, like what's in control and if she has any, if she's like aware but not fully aware.
Yeah.
Kind of like with grief, like you're tricking yourself into not believing it's
Yeah.
happening. But I
Right.
love the visualization of the crack because it's literally like the cracks in the facade.
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
guys think this is really Vision?
No.
No,
I
Kind
think
of.
it's her idea of it.
her version, yes, the version.
Yeah.
of-
Yeah,
So
this
I
is like
just
her.
saw
That he has
her
his body,
headcanon
so,
edition.
that someone has his body, and so like my running theory is that like that's where his body was, and that's why she went there, but it was a
Mhm.
trap. And so like I think originally she got trapped in Westville because they were trying to like see her power, and then they didn't realize how powerful Wanda was, and so
Mhm.
she takes over. And then that's
Yeah.
how they're all trapped,
Yeah.
is because
Yeah.
Wanda,
Yeah.
like, they didn't know how powerful she was.
Because that goes back to that first episode with the brain scans on the computer, the red and green brain scans, or what look like brain scans, heart monitor,
Yes.
whatever. Yeah, that
Yeah.
up in the left hand corner.
Yeah.
Someone's actually like watching the TV show.
Yeah.
But, okay,
These
so-
people. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I first thought it was just like her ideal vision, what's in
Right.
her head. But then I remembered that they're both created through the Mind Stone.
They're
Mhm.
connected.
So there
Yes.
has to be a connection with that, with the two of them. So
There you go, a piece of-
Tracy's got it.
Yeah.
Right?
See that?
It's perfect. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but even in that,
trying to
justification,
manifest him.
it's still kind of Vision.
Mhm.
It's just not
Yeah.
the Vision we've seen so far.
I think she's trying to manifest him into like she does with the twins in the comics. I think she's trying to manifest him into reality, and I think
Right.
my whole thing is that this is a reverse House of M, and I've been saying that since I watched the first trailer for this show, that they're just doing the reverse of it.
Completely
And instead of-
agree.
Instead of erasing the mutants, it's just going to say more mutants, and she's just going to bring all of them into the fold.
Mhm.
But I think it's also going to include her bringing Vision back to life, her bringing her brother
hope
back
so.
to life, and
yes.
I
Oh,
need
which
it.
version of her brother?
I hope it's Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like Evan Peters is fine, but I'm like, come on, don't just
That would
keep
be-
him
Like-
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a hot take, and I apologize if I'm about to hurt anyone's feelings, but we need to bury that entire cast. Good, bad, indifferent. And I mean that. I mean that
Oh.
for the ones I love. I mean that for Hugh Jackman. I mean that for Fassbender. I
One
mean
hundred
that for
percent.
everyone.
Give
And I
me-
love some of them, but we
Give
need to
me
be
short Wolverine. If you don't give me short Wolverine, I'm gonna be real pissed.
He is a
Or-
short king.
He is
5
5'3".
feet. Yeah.
Yeah,
5
he's a short
3.
guy.
He's a
He's
short
hockey
king.
puck. He's
Yeah,
he's like
he's Daniel Radcliffe. Just give me Daniel Radcliffe. That's
Oh my
what I
god! Can
want.
you
Oh,
imagine like,
yes.
an absolutely feral Daniel Radcliffe?
I would
That's
love
all I
that.
want. All I want
That'd
is
be
Daniel
fantastic.
Radcliffe as Wolverine.
yeah. So sorry, Evan Peters. I know you're
No.
watching, and I apologize
Send you.
profusely.
I just was
agree.
like,
I agree with
I
Alden. I
cared
think it
it.
would be like neater if you just
It's neater. We need to
Just
we
wipe
need
it,
to-
Clean.
start again, because
Yeah,
then you bust
start from the
Xavier.
beginning.
Can we
Yeah,
keep
but
the
then-
same Xavier?
McAvoy.
No,
Wait,
No.
I
no, wait.
wouldn't.
It's gonna get messy
Start
though
fresh.
because you're keeping Deadpool. So like,
Mm.
and he's technically an
Yes.
X-Men, so that it gets messy because then you're like, okay, well,
But at
so
least he
his
can
movie's
know it.
out, but no one else's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's
everyone
gonna
will
say.
know it.
That's the
True,
only
we
thing
can
is that
call
he
it
can
out.
say
Comment on
like,
it.
"Huh, this is weird." Like he can have
Yeah,
a
then
moment of
he
like,
can break it.
"So do
He'd
I have
also
to be
be the
PG
bridge.
now?" Like
Yeah,
it's
he'll
going
be
to be
like-
tons of
He'll
those.
be like, curse, 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 Disney bought me. Curse, 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 curse. You know, he gets beeped out or something like that.
No,
He's
R.
going to make
He's
the same
rated R.
joke that was made
I
here
know, but
about
he's
Grogu.
gonna like.
He's going to ask
Yeah.
where Grogu is in his movie.
Where's Grogu?
Good.
God, I hope
speaking of
so.
Grogu, we used to have like some Baby Yoda news on
What?
Mando Night Live, and there's a.
I
this
could go
has
get
to
my
do-
Grogu. He's over there.
Tiernan.
This has to do with WandaVision. I got a scoop from actually Grogu himself. He got tired of not being in the news.
Oh.
He auditioned for the part of Billy. And
I mean, look
wanted
at
to
do you see Vision? Vision's just like that is not my baby.
That's not my baby.
he should be red or pink. That's it.
They
So,
said,
yeah.
"Oh, Grogu, you wanted to kiss your good husband. Good boy. You chose Billy. You were like, I want to kiss Hulkling. Let's go."
So let's
Sorry,
talk
I'm
about
very excited about those husbands.
Let's talk about Geraldine, aka Monica.
Monica
Love her.
Bamco.
So,
Yes.
Monica comes in at the worst time.
I know.
What a
And-
queen.
Oh, she's just
know.
happy about her promotion, and then Wanda ruined her big day
I know.
with these shenanigans.
Except,
She's not wearing her necklace in that screenshot, or is it just the screenshot?
It might be
I
too
think
bright.
Most of the time it was hidden down, like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
in
kind
the-
of hidden in the
so
shot.
you can see
Okay,
the
I thought it just appeared once things started to go a little wonky, and then I was okay. So it was just down her shirt. Okay,
Yeah.
proceed.
Because I guess
Yeah.
Wanda couldn't see it yet because she's aware of the beekeeper and that symbol.
Right.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing, okay, so Wanda finally mentions her brother, and I give Wanda a lot of crap about losing her accent magically, but when she says Pedro, she says it with the accent again, and my heart just went, oh.
That was nice.
If you want a funny thing, my mom goes, Pedro?
That's my mother.
Oh my god.
Well, my mom is so funny. Every time the commercial comes on, she's like, where is the Maxwell Lord commercial? Like, just throw it in here. I
Oh,
know it's the
Wonder Woman?
wrong universe.
Life is good. But it
Yeah.
could
No,
be
wait,
better.
could be better.
it's
There you go.
just like right.
This is Evan Peters, and then this is Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, Alden, stop being so mean to him.
Can someone screenshot me doing? I agree.
Off camera, I'll tell Evan Peters stories.
But
Please.
something that I liked from when Geraldine arrived was that they pay homage to the props, the typical props on the
Oh, yeah.
sitcoms with the
Oh,
Fruit.
Tiernan is for me. This is for me.
yeah.
I think it's
you.
for all of us, really.
It is
Karen
true. It is
knows
for all of
us.
True.
My beloved.
But yeah, you're totally
We're
right.
all gonna
how
fight to the death. It's the Hunger Games.
so many even recent shows like Friends and like Frasier, they
The
try to
Nanny,
hide pregnancy.
yes.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, I think.
Even
They
as recent as like How I
totally-
Met Your Mother and Modern Family did that.
Oh, very true. And of course, like, no, she doesn't notice Wanda's pregnant. Notices she's in a big coat, but
And holding a fruit bowl. She's
Yeah.
holding.
Yeah.
I was like, how can you not see she's pregnant?
Which I think is
know.
like, yeah, which is like super absurd,
It's
but I
meta.
also like that it's a sort of a tribute to like when they actually do that with actresses in TV. And I know that, you know, like Maggie and I, we both love Angel, like the
Yes.
hidden pregnancies and
There
Buffy
you
and Angel
go.
and
The
all that stuff.
oversized purse.
Yeah, yep, that
Or
that would have been
they
the
just
one.
make it a demon baby like they did with Cordelia.
Oh,
That's
poor
solved it.
Connor.
Hey,
I'm watching that right now.
hey,
That
we're
wasn't his,
fully.
That wasn't her demon baby. Connor's the one she hooked up. Okay, never mind. Let's not talk about this.
No, I don't want to relitigate season 4 tonight. I'm
Please
I'm gonna need alcohol for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Damn it, Maggie.
Look, it's Scarlet.
Ooh.
So it isn't until Wanda says she has a brother that Geraldine or Monica kind of like, it's like she remembers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's where she thinks she's opening up to her and she can actually talk to her about
Yeah.
everything.
I can-
Was my theory. Was like she finally is like, oh, she's opening up to me. I can like maybe get her to remember the world that she came from. And then instead of, and I think Wanda the entire time is aware of everything that happened to her and is just like, nope, we're pretending it doesn't
She's like,
exist.
nope.
Yeah. And so
I agree.
the minute she said it, she was like, nope, I don't trust you anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
I think Gerald from the beginning knew who she was. Like,
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that they edited this episode and it's like
Yes.
slightly different?
Than what the screener got, Maggie.
Yeah. That's what like multiple people have talked about.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there's
see,
a scene from the
I
promo,
missed
too.
that. I missed that because my
There's-
screeners was a whole hot mess, but like I didn't know that they were two different screeners.
There's a scene in the promo where we see Wanda building back up the wall in her post pregnancy look.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And it's not in this.
It's not in the finished version.
Well, then that might be the where I said when they go back in the later episodes and are going through all the different.
Ah.
time
What
periods.
happened?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
This head tilt. This
Oh, the head
look.
tilt.
That's when you run, right? That's when you run.
Mhm.
Up her head, it's game over. That's it.
It's all
Like
over.
Mom and scare.
That is when you run.
Yeah.
And there's somebody who made a gift set of all the times that Wanda tilts her head, and that usually means she's going to do something bad.
We love that for her.
Yes, again,
Yes.
so it's like just that head tilt is like, yep, she's going to be a villain, or at least a protagonist. Maybe not the villain, but like,
Yes.
I mean the protagonist, the antagonist.
Yes.
Next.
She has things she needs to do.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever I mean, we know that, like, because of this, the Doctor Strange 2 story and the Spider-Man 3 story happen, at least in some capacity. Like, is she... And Sword's involvement is interesting because Sword in the comics is a space division. But here it seems to be more of a reality division.
Weapon, yeah. They changed
like,
the world to weapon.
Sentient,
Sentient world observation and response department.
Yes.
And it's part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but we also know S.H.I.E.L.D. in this canon was infiltrated by Hydra. Too.
Hydra.
Was
so
Hydra,
do we know if Sword is...
But
and we also know that
Fury was?
Well, Fury pieced out to space with Talos. We know from the end of Far From Home.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Isn't that
is
Sword?
that...
Yeah.
We thought, but now they've changed what Sword is. I thought it was because it should have been space, but now
Maybe that's Sword Space Force.
I like. There you go.
In here.
I like-
Don't do that.
So yeah, so it's like, is whatever Wanda's doing here, like I like what was said earlier. This group has her. Then she's too much to control. Then she flips the script on them. It becomes her TV show. And when Strange or whoever it is breaks her out, or if it's, you know, a resurrected Pietro, whatever they're going to do, does she break things so badly that that's how you get your Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire?
I feel like
that's how you get
No, don't put that on her, my baby. It's on Steve Rogers. He did it the minute he went back in time and was like, I'm gonna live with.
Let's talk about Steve Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, Wanda considers him like a big brother. I think by this point.
Yeah, and he abandoned her.
He yeeted himself out of this situation.
He was like, yeah, so about this,
I know.
I have a dance. So bye. I'll be back in like 50 years.
In fairness to him, he's been talking nonstop about that dance since he was thawed out.
I'm
He's
gonna be,
who's ever kissed.
Steve Rogers was like, I'm gonna be back as president.
Yeah, I'm coming back as Joe Biden.
I'm gonna come back as Malarkey Joe.
What's funny about that is, like, in my press screening for Endgame, that was a whole day because I literally saw Endgame and I went and saw Pedro Pascal and King Lear like 4 hours after, and I was like, this has been a day and a half. But I came out of my press screening for Endgame and went, he looks like Joe Biden, right? And like, yeah, he did. And then, like, slowly everyone was seeing it was like, why does he look like Joe Biden? And,
He
like,
looks so much like him. It's the irony that he is now our president.
It's Steve Rogers.
President Rogers.
And he's punching Nazis and giving
He's got
people
to sign her out. He's got
There
to do an executive order to shut this down.
But you know, I feel like Wanda could be the catalyst for all of this, because if I lost Paul Bettany, I would be this traumatized that I would just rip the world apart. And we know that she's capable of that. She's capable of so much more than what we've seen, because she is the strongest.
Yeah, the fact that she was able to hold up Thanos while killing her lover at the same time. Oh my god, it hurts so much.
For him to just die again.
Also, what I noticed when I watched that scene, because I'm a glutton for punishment, is that when Vision dies, he goes monochrome.
Yes.
Black and white.
Which I thought was setting up, when I first saw Infinity War, I thought it was setting up the white Vision. Because in the comics, he has been, you know, his classic red, green, yellow, but then he's also had a head-to-toe white look before, when he was like a West Coast Avenger. And I thought that, I mean, you could reboot it and have Paul Bettany play a different version. You could do the teenage Vision, whose name is Jonas, and that could tie in with Cassie Lang and kids and everything. And because I think they're totally going to go Young Avengers. You got Haley Steinfeld as Kate. You got Catherine Newton now taking the role of Cassie.
And what's his name is coming for Ant-Man's villain, who used to be Iron Lad.
Kang, I cannot remember.
Kang.
Yeah, and he was Iron Lad before.
He was Iron Lad.
Yeah.
So you get a young version of him. So I think that there's a lot going on there. But my question becomes, how much are these shows going to be threaded? And we see in the Loki trailer, he's been recruited by this force. Are they going to say, hey, Wanda Maximoff ruined the main Earth. Can you go fix that? god of chaos and trickster.
I'm just going to point out yet again in the Loki trailer, we see the devil in a stained glass window.
Oh, speaking of which, our theory about Ralph, the unseen Ralph, the husband of Agnes,
looks better in the
Ralph
dark.
Looks better in the dark.
Again, another allusion to evil.
Yeah, that Ralph's the devil. Catherine Hahn, by the way, is just
Mephisto.
I love her so much.
Treasure.
I know. And I keep her brooch. It gives me vibes that she's Agatha.
I just
really
got
hope
so
she is.
excited because I'm a comedy nerd, so I cannot wait until they go in the modern era because they're doing mockumentaries. And my favorite show is a mockumentary because it's Parks and Rec. And I just remembered, I was like, wait, that's Jen Barkley. So are you just going to let her be Jen
she's
Barkley?
She's so heinous in that show. I love it.
I love her so much.
The way she looks at children is like,
she comes in the plastic. She's in the all plastic. And she's like, no, I'm not sitting on your couch.
I can't touch things in your house.
I would love
her
if that's
so
what
much.
happened in this show. I would cry.
Yeah.
God, I really hope they bring in some random cameo from a mockumentary. Imagine Adam Scott just showing up. I would lose it.
That would be fantastic.
Just die. I'd be like Adam Scott in a Marvel. Bye. And then I just die.
I would be dead.
Did you guys appreciate?
Yes. You know I love bad puns.
I can't wait to be a proud Papa.
Papaya.
Love him.
I love every time that Paul Bettany gets to be as funny as he is. He is having the time of his life on this.
Yeah, they
show.
both seem like they're having fun.
No,
what a screen dab.
That whole scene was so great.
It's great.
He's
I
hot,
firmly
and I hate it. I hate that Paul Bettany is hot in this show. I don't like it.
Wait, you didn't think?
How did it happen?
Wait, you didn't think he was
hot
hot as
No.
Dryden Voss?
No, listen, Paul Bettany's fine. Not fine, but fine. And I hated Vision. Was like, whatever, I don't care. I love Wanda. And then I thought their relationship was oh, you cook one time together and now you're in love? Okay. And did not care at all. And then this show hit. Yeah, listen, this show hit and it broke me as a person. And I was like, all of a sudden I care about Wanda and Vision.
Look,
I hate that I care so much.
You need to be convinced of hot Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany, 2008, Inkheart, as Dustfinger. He has a scar on his face and a cute little ferret, and he is wonderful. So wonderful. It's very good.
Watch it. I
haven't
haven't watched that.
I think Brendan Fraser's in it too. So.
Yeah.
God, I love
double duty.
Oh yeah, and then I have a cap of this for some reason.
I hated her. I'm having a baby face. I hated it.
But
it's so bad.
This moment where she's when Geraldine is like, hey, you can do this, I can do this. You can see this fear in his face. It was
and I'm like, girl, just pop it out. It's not even real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She pops it out. She has a second of just screaming, but it's not real pain screams.
Yeah.
She was I'm
that's
not
what she
going to
thinks it
pretend
is.
to do what she was doing.
Hang on. He pulled the babies out of her. He pulled the thing out of the dude's throat last week. Could you just be C-section?
Here's the thing. Does he remember that he can do it?
That's true.
Because that was the whole, he was not acting until it was Vision, save him. He might have whatever powers Wanda decides he has in the moment.
Yeah, because I think in that confirmed that she's completely controlling him at least and what he can do, because he didn't move until she said, but he still has emotions. That's why I think Vision.
It's like a fragment of Vision, and then she's
It's
supplementing.
It's like a battle between whatever ingredients are in this TV show and Wanda, and I think that who's controlling this TV show is wait a second, why aren't the fragments doing what we said they should do?
Because they had
So there's that little
yes, exactly.
There's that little moment during the glitch when he starts to seem like he's realizing what's going on, and she's like, "Nope, that's not happening."
Yeah, I think he still has some kind of because there are the moments where he's crying when she says, "Do you want to meet your son as yourself?" Which I cried and I hated myself for crying. This show has broken me as a person, and the throat thing. that like make me believe that like he does have control over himself, but he can't do anything unless Wanda's like, go over there and do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like when you play Sims and you put them on free play a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
And he was confused
He's
about
gonna get
dumb.
stuck in a room and be like, why am I in this room?
Yeah.
You put them on free play, and you're like, I am a generous god, watching them
Yeah.
like do their like little
And then
dance.
when they do something
they're
you
like
don't like,
dancing.
you're like, nope, you're going to work, buddy. You know, you're
Oh,
going.
man.
He does have the
Yeah.
little star. The Mind
Yeah.
Stone is like the
Star,
green
yeah.
thing.
Green, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I loved about this episode was when Geraldine gets thrown into the real world, when the aspect ratio changes. That moment was like so trippy.
That was
I loved
fantastic.
it.
I love those, but I'm also like, I would like screen grabs in that aspect ratio. So
Please.
can you guys like just
Can you fix it?
fix that for me so I can screen grab and use them for Twitter?
What
Also-
I liked about the aspect ratio change is that it didn't change when Geraldine landed. It changed when
No.
Wanda's like, she had to
Wanda.
go now in
Yeah.
this really weird way. It holds on her and then it changes. So it's almost like
It
really
I was
so
so afraid
that
she just
link
murdered
between
her
them.
for like 5
was
minutes.
like-
I was like, you did not just kill Monica Rambeau. She's in Captain Marvel too. And then show her like falling. I was like, oh, okay, great. She's
Oh, okay, it's fine.
And then that's
But-
going to be your Darcy, Agent Wu, all of those tie-ins for.
Yeah.
But-
Was it in
and
the,
just-
the trailer? She's in the back of one of those military vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also
Darcy
going back a
was
little
saying-
bit with Agnes and Herb, there are also like, we like they don't know what to explain about Geraldine.
They seemed very aware.
Yes.
And like, I couldn't figure out with Agnes, is she like aware of what's going on and she's afraid of Wanda? Like she doesn't want to question
He
this?
also said, "Stop
Yeah.
it!" Like because
Yeah.
Herb was
Don't,
going to
like-
be gonna say something.
Herb
He's
feels more
"Stop
like
it."
a victim, and she feels more complicit
Mm-hmm.
in terms of
think
Yeah.
like I mean with the
everyone
whole
has alternate personalities. So it's like
Right.
their sitcom personalities and then who they are in the real world. So it's like, I forget who people think she is. She's Agatha.
Agatha
Agatha.
Harkness.
Yeah, the witch.
Yes, from the comics. And I was like, okay. And I think everyone has those because, and what confirmed it for me was when Monica showed up and her name was Geraldine.
Mm-hmm. And
Right.
she didn't know what her name
Could have
was. She's
just
like,
been Monica. Yeah, like she
She's
could have
like,
just been
I'm-
Monica, but
Geraldine.
yeah.
And that's what's interesting about everything we've been saying with all the build is that if it's Mephisto and Agatha Harkness and Strange and all of these people in the Loki show, it's like everything from Iron Man to Endgame was cosmic, and now everything now will be magic, because
Yeah.
even in Eternals, which we would have seen if not for COVID already, Eternals has Dane Whitman. Kit Harington is playing Dane Whitman, the Black Knight, and he goes back to like the Arthurian stuff, and Agatha goes back to the Salem witch trials and Morgan Le Fay and all this stuff. So I feel like there's one big sort of magic thing happening across all of, I don't know how you fit in stuff like
The
Clint
Phase
Barton,
4.
but
It's
I
Phase
forgot.
4,
Yeah.
Rob
Yeah.
Stark and Jon Snow were in a movie together. And
I know.
right now.
I know.
Oh
We've
my god.
broken Rachel again.
I'm excited that
And
they're
Noral.
kind of sticking more to Earth, it seems.
Rob Stark.
And they will be like, this is more Earthbound. 'Cause I
Yeah,
feel like there's
for the
still
most
so
part.
much more to.
For the most part, yeah, because they're gonna have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
the
and
third one.
Thor. Oh my god,
Thor.
Thor
Love.
4, which is started shooting this week, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
excited.
Yes. Or it is starting.
About
It's-
to. I
Is
saw
that makes
Hemsworth.
sense.
Hemsworth over there, like, hi, I had to take a trip to the beach before we started on Love and Thunder, and
That's exactly what Hemsworth
These-
sounds like.
these are my
Love
kids,
it.
and
Ace's Hemsworth impression.
thank you.
So wait, okay, so Darcy's in the show.
Candace is like, moving on.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wait, no, I'm like Thor. I'm like Thor's filming. What if Darcy's in the next Thor movie because Natalie Portman is?
Yeah.
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 It's all connected.
Oh my
It
god.
is all connected.
It is all connected.
Archive of Our Own will be so happy with more Darcy content.
The fandom bicycle. They
you
call
trying
it
to tell
that
me-
in the tags. They
Are you
call
trying
it
to tell
in
me
the tags.
that Kevin Feige likes to connect things?
Yeah, I know.
I've heard that about him.
Except
Yes.
he doesn't know that
True.
Elizabeth Olsen is an Olsen sister.
He connects his own
That-
things. His
Imagine if he,
other
like-
things outside of his scope.
He like shows up at Elizabeth's table at lunch. He's like, "Hey, Elizabeth, you never told me that your sisters ran a fashion company." Like
My
that's all they
shows
ever
up
did,
at a
right?
table like,
Is-
did
do
anybody
they
ever
have an
tell
Etsy
you you
or
look like the
something?
Olsen twins?
They
Oh my
Etsy.
god.
The Olsen
I'm picturing
Etsy.
like Paul Bettany just sitting there like,
Redbubble account.
Yeah, Paul Bettany was like, okay.
He's just like,
Try not
"Sir."
to laugh. Do you know who she is? She's literally sitcom royalty.
Yeah, literally their
And I want to
design,
be your best friend.
Elizabeth James, is named after her and her brother. So, or James Elizabeth. So, do you guys think next week will be in the 80s?
Yeah.
And I cannot wait
Well,
for
yeah,
my
because
outfit.
we got the babies right there.
Yeah, the hair.
But they're so
Grogu.
they said it's family ties, but like, does that mean I can also get growing pains?
No.
Oh, please.
I want Paul Bettany dressed like Alan Thicke. Like, if I'm already in this for Paul Bettany at this point, like I want him dressed like Alan Thicke at some point.
Oh my
What is
god.
a specific mood to aspire to?
I
Alan Thicke,
love
but I feel like I
Alan
know a lot
Thicke
about you
in
now.
growing pains.
Me too.
Sweet Maggie and I are friends.
Oh,
We're like Alan Thicke.
it's a problem.
It's
Yeah,
Grogu.
Robin Thicke did an impression of his father one time, and I was like, I don't need this. You need to go. Get out. But if Paul Bettany did it, okay. I would take a Paul
We'd
Bettany
take
out.
it.
There he is again.
Oh my
That
god.
hair.
And
So
that
good.
hair. I was
Full
Not
Mike
so much in
Brady.
this shot, but overall, that's my favorite Paul Bettany look so far.
I was really into it.
I was really into
See,
1970s
I'm
Paul
still
Bettany.
into the where he says, what are you wearing? And he like growls. That was like
Yes.
he
yeah.
went full Dick Van Dyke, and I was like, oh boy.
It got Dick Van Dyke, but like more inappropriate because where he's looking, and it's very obvious what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany's 1970s look is very much like English professor,
Oh yes.
and it very much is very much my thing.
And then quoting Shakespeare, like can
Wait,
it
was
get
it like
better? Like can it yeah, perfect.
I will name my son after Billy Shakes. Thank you. His name is William. And you're like, oh, okay.
He's an English professor.
I love that they
Of course he
explain
did that.
why they have such
and he's at the
generic
library in the opening trailer. He's walking out of the Westview Library, so he's like
Yeah.
the nerdy professor.
He's a computer. He can. He's a computer.
names. Yeah. Doesn't he
He
have
can't
like,
do
a
math
something
anymore.
like that? Yeah, that's true. Oh wait. Any other predictions?
My heart will be broken.
Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna
hoping-
get
I
sad.
know.
That's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah, it's
People
already
are like,
getting sad.
oh, I saw people being like, is this gonna be a sad ending? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you think this is?
Did you think it was going to be happy? Everyone
think they're
around
gonna
Wanda
stay here?
dies.
Gonna make us
Wanda
cry.
is the Grim Reaper.
He's literally dead. We saw him
Yeah.
die twice. Granted,
Yes.
it's comics, but still.
Cue the Buffy musical that I died twice.
Will
Yeah.
we see? I want to think if gonna see the Halloween costumes next.
I cannot wait for
Next-
that episode.
next week.
I think
Yeah.
that's next.
That would be fantastic.
Well, it
I'm
could be
excited.
the 90s, but I'm
Or the
pretty sure.
90s maybe, because the hair is different.
Yeah.
Well, no, because she has her like real curly hair for the next
Oh, yeah.
week.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
might be
it's
the
probably
90s.
the 90s
That might
episode
be
then.
like Full House and stuff. And it looks from the trailers, the Halloween one looks like I was alive. Like when it was like it looked like TV from when I was growing up, and
It
not
really did.
like because everything else is shot like obviously like how they were filmed.
Ah.
Tracy just decided to choose violence
So-
today. I have a feeling he's gonna be like, "You have to let me go," and that's gonna make her snap.
So she's gonna renounce her wish.
I need people to stop.
Yeah.
I
Renounce
really
the
need
wish.
people to stop dying for the greater good. I
Wait,
need
hold
it.
on. Let me do it again. You have to let me go. Right?
Yeah,
Am I saying it
honestly,
the right
I mean,
way?
are they going to do
Get
a?
better.
Are they going to do a lift the dialogue and repurpose it? Like it's the dialogue from when she shattered the stone.
No. Alden,
But
I'm
It's like
muting
all
you.
I can
I'm
feel
muting
is
you.
you. That's what he
muting me.
says. All I
All I
can
can
feel is
feel-
you.
I don't like
Oh
it.
my goodness.
I don't like it.
God, it hurts
All
so
I
much.
can- Wait, hold on.
I think that all these reactions are confirmation that they should
Ready?
do it.
So people can make me a GIF. You have to let me go. All I can feel is you.
God,
Oh my
Oh
god.
my goodness.
that would be so
I
funny.
am Max Lord.
I am Max Lord.
Stop hurting me.
I don't like
Yeah.
it.
This isn't going to go well for any of these characters. It's
Yeah,
going to be
I know.
bad.
Not for
No,
them,
no.
not for us. It's gonna be
No.
misery. And
I do have a
success.
prediction about the commercials.
Yeah.
About
Oh.
what we might see. Talking off air with a few friends about, obviously these are key elements of Wanda's trauma, Tony Stark, and then Baron von Strucker, and now Hydra, proper. I think that it would be cool if the 80s one is for like a Nike sneaker and you call them the Quicksilvers or something like that. And then you could do one that could be like a 90s like kids toy, like an action toy commercial, and it's a bow and arrow, and it's called like Bart and Bow or something like that. Like everything that's played a key element in her life up until now.
Probably something about Natasha too.
Yeah.
Just a toy falling off a table.
Yeah.
Do we think it would be an Ultron one then? That would be like the last one we see.
Yeah. Ultron,
yeah, Ultron would have to
early
be
2000s.
Like some kind of tech, right?
Then there has to be. There has to be something.
Or that's just
then.
James Spader in a commercial, and James Spader is an additional to the commercial, and that's the the nod
That's
to
the Ultron connection.
Yeah, that's like
Hey,
James
yeah.
Spader presenting
Like
a
that.
Thanos something or other.
Or if it's like James Spader presenting like
a QVC
Is like yellow,
jewel.
or something.
yes, of like a
QVC
of a necklace or something that has all the
QVC, there you
colors.
go.
Or it's like cleaning gloves.
They were
Yeah.
presenting it just to
Yellow
tie those
gloves.
two together.
Yeah.
I hope none of this happens, and we're just making ourselves.
Sad for no reason.
We are just
Yeah, we're-
lowering our expectations.
Yeah.
So
We're just hurting ourselves.
it's better. Oh, okay.
Because at the end of The Mandalorian, I thought Grogu and Din were going to stay together, but I was wrong, and I got really sad.
I don't need
So-
to cry.
But to be fair,
I
Candace,
love it.
we're getting more of that. This is just the one season.
Yeah.
Well, then we're getting movies.
Yeah.
We're getting
Yeah, then we're getting movies, so this will continue.
That's true. See,
I'm sorry,
I
Matt.
choose to imagine something more devastating than what I think
Okay.
they'll do to prepare
Okay.
my palate.
Oh,
thing is,
okay. I thought you were like going to predict something more devastating than.
Oh,
anything.
no.
I'm like, I'm not ready
The
for
thing
that.
is, I want her to be happy, but I also want to see her as a villain.
I really want to see her as a villain.
Yeah, I mean, like it
She's
needs to
happy
be
with
like
her.
like
I
a
just
like
want her
a
to have a hot minute of happiness because that girl has
She's
just
been through
out the
so
gate
much.
suffered.
Alexa play Mad Woman by Taylor Swift.
That's her choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
She's
Our
gonna
poor
be a
Wanda.
villain. I'm gonna be. It's whatever. She's gonna be a villain.
And
but I
the
just want her
Strange
to be
movie.
happy.
That would be fantastic.
But again,
Yeah.
not a villain, but like an antagonist. Different thing.
You're
A
gonna be a
smart
villain.
woman.
You're gonna be happy about it.
It's gonna be the Buffy thing. I put it on Twitter. The Buffy thing of you went too far and now I have to rehab you as
Oh,
like the
like
Sorcerer
Willow?
Supreme. Yeah, like Dark Willow, bring you back from the brink. And then while he's bringing her back from the brink, he's like, "Oh crap! This Peter Parker kid just broke the universe. Now I need to go deal with that too."
Damn it, Peter!
Speaking of Buffy, I have a
Yeah.
request. I need Dottie to wear a bunny costume for Halloween.
Please.
Oh, yes.
Please.
Is that
Yes.
a Buffy reference?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm
indeed.
I'm on Hush, and then we switched to Angel, so I have not. I don't know anything
It's
after
not,
Hush.
it's not a spoiler, but Anya is like terrified of bunnies.
Anya is like me. She has
that's
lephorophobia. She's afraid of rabbits.
Maggie.
She has a whole song
You're
about
afraid
it.
of rabbits, Maggie?
I am terrified of rabbits. I was attacked by a rabbit when I was 11 years old, and I have a
Oh.
scar on my arm. It ripped my arm open,
Oh, Jesus.
and I've never liked rabbits since.
So you have a reasonable fear of rabbits.
I have a
Okay,
very
yeah, that makes
reasonable
sense.
fear.
Okay.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Okay.
Like my fears are irrational, but that's a reasonable fear. Like,
But
I'm
I
afraid
love
of a shark.
Anya's song. She has a rabbit song that cracks me up.
I can't
Oh my
wait.
god.
Oh, the Buffy musical is great. I cannot wait for you to get to that. It is.
Oh yeah, because I love Giles, and that man is from Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yes,
Yeah.
he
I
is.
cannot wait.
I have
has
his first
pipes.
album still.
I
It's
love
Music for
good.
Elevators. It is
It's
good.
good
I
music
love
for
Repo the
elevators.
Genetic Opera.
It's good.
Music
Wow,
for
I didn't think we were
Elevators.
going Anthony Head.
Love that man.
We did. Hey, speaking of someone who should be in Marvel, put him in a Marvel.
Seriously.
Yes.
I would die. Listen, let me just cast everything for Marvel. I got ideas.
Oh my God.
I
Hey,
got-
somebody mentioned Tam.
Who?
Tamara
It's Tam.
Morrison.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Tiernan. She was like,
Yeah.
put him in Marvel.
Yeah, put
Yes,
them all
give
in
me
Marvel.
Tamara Morrison. And then make a
Oh,
musical
yes.
episode.
All I
Okay.
listen. I am joining. I am team put Pedro Pascal's Craven the Hunter, and then like I don't know, work with Wanda to go find Peter Parker if you're a villain,
Yeah, I'm into
Yeah.
that.
I
I'm
like
into
it.
that.
because Craven's coming. We already know that, but
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's have people plug their things. Arzu, where can
Okay.
we find you online?
People can find me on Twitter at arzuamin. You can also find me at my website, arzud2.com, talking about Star Wars, not Marvel, but it's the High Republic right now. So you can find me there.
And I'm Maggie. You can find me on Twitter at Maggie of the Town. I am the managing editor over at Your Money Geek, and then I am on Star Wars podcasts and all over the place.
Yeah, well, I'm Norhal, and you can find me on Twitter at Norhal as well. And you can find me talking all over the place about Star Wars and other things. So.
I'm Alden. You can find me on a Star Wars podcast, Octo Radio. That's everywhere podcasts are found, doing Star Wars interviews. We just had Justina Ireland on for High Republic, and we're covering a bunch of that stuff. What's right here? Buy all of it because it's all good. And then you can find me on a brand new show that came out today or now or in a little bit. The One and Done Film Club. First episode is on Indiana Jones, where we can only tackle one movie per franchise, and we fight it out for that movie in the moment and then do a commentary on it. And then Maggie and I are going to be on a Doctor Who show soon.
Very soon. Very excited about that.
Yes.
I'm Rachel Leishman. You can follow me at Rachel Leishman, but on Instagram, it's with an underscore in between my names because someone won't give me the handle that I want. It's very annoying. But you can follow my work at the Mary Sue, or if you follow me on Twitter, I cry a lot about celebrities and superheroes.
She talks a lot about Pedro Pascal.
I do, and I'm so sorry. It's a whole thing. I'm in the middle of Narcos.
Oh, he's great in that.
Does that
so
mean we are
good.
best friends already?
We can be.
Yeah.
I've only watched it like 15 times. It's my comfort TV show.
Well, I can
That's
only
a
watch
weird
it at night
comfort TV
because
show, Maggie.
No, it's not. It's a great, perfect.
It's
I would marry
perfect
Javier
comfort.
Pena.
In a heartbeat.
Javier Pena.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
That's
Okay,
very
we're worrying
good.
about a lot of you guys.
It's so good. Yeah, that's me.
So good.
Okay, well, I'm Candace. You can find me at thegeekywaffle.com. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you aren't in an alternate universe or being controlled by the Scarlet Witch. I don't know. We don't know what it is. Have a great night.